Hey there, my name is Spencer, and as a good fellow Wisconsin boy, I want to talk about the Booger trial in the most recent episode of the Gus and Eddy podcast. I will talk about two common ways that mistrials are declared that I think apply to this case. I won't talk about who I think committed the Booger wall. That's perhaps for another video. For a quick recap or for background information for anyone who doesn't know, the Johnson brothers, Gus, Sven, and Thor, stand accused of putting boogers on their childhood bathroom wall. Now this is a spoiler alert, okay? I repeat, a spoiler alert. There's a link in the description below if you want to see this trial before finding out the ending. The result of this trial was a conviction of Gus Johnson. Now, as I said before, I think there are two common ways that mistrials are declared that happened in this case. Number one, unfair comments made during the jury's hearing. Throughout the jury's discussion of the situation, we hear many jurors discuss a fictional account of Gus picking his nose and taking out the person who saw him do it.
The YouTube video that was presented of Gus in the library doing that heinous act was very oddly specific. Why on earth would you make an entire comedy sketch about picking your nose, about the act of picking one's nose, unless you had a lot of experience in that field, right? So I think that's a bit of a red flag.
Also, Gus is very dishonest, and that sketch, I think, was real. I don't think that was a work of fiction.
Yeah, that came from the heart.
This piece of evidence was specifically stricken from the record by the most honorable and sexy Judge Edward Burback.
First, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, I cannot accept this as evidence. If I did, it's a piece of entertainment, and if I did, I would have to admit that this is a kangaroo court, and I will not do that in my courtroom.
And thus I believe all these comments to be unfair, and this alone, enough for a mistrial. However, I believe there is a second reason for a mistrial to be declared, and that is misconduct by an attorney or the jury. Specifically, I'm referring to a piece of fabricated evidence presented and put in the record by juror Drew Gooden.
I just want to call into question the validity of this evidence that Gus has put forth. This Facebook post allegedly posted by their mother. We know her name is Deb Johnson, and yet for some reason you've blacked out the name, and I'm supposed to just believe that that's from your mother. I did some Googling, and I actually found Howie Mandel posted the same thing on his public Facebook page on the same day. And so what I think is that you found this online and you colored it out, and now you're trying to use it as evidence against your mom. What say you?
What? No, Drew seems like a good guy. I like his videos, and it was one of the most funny bits in the podcast. But we can't just enter misinformation, fabricated lies into the record. So here's Drew admitting that this is not confirmed information.
On the like memes bits aside, did you really find that Howie Mandel had those Facebook posts? Like, is it basically proven that Gus like photoshopped that shit? Or just crossed it? Okay, because I want to make sure, because if he had actually faked those, that's like damning of like, yeah, he's crazy defensive. Like.
No, it was just a
funny bit.
I just thought it was funny for him to say a post from Deb Johnson, say her name, we know what she looks like, but also blurred out her name.
All in all, 2 out of 3 reasons that Gus was convicted in this clip were either fabrications or stricken from the record completely as a piece of fiction.
Unfortunately, Gus, we did come to the decision that you are too defensive. You killed a guy one time in a booger-related thing, and you made up that Facebook post and framed your mom in the process. So sorry, may you rot in hell.
And so, due to unfair comments made during the jury's hearing and misconduct by juror Drew Gooden, I believe that a mistrial must be declared. Also, because of the very serious and life-impacting nature of this case, I recommend that this case be retried to find the true culprit of Booger Wall. For you, the viewer, I want to know, do you think this trial was just? Who do you think did Booger Wall? Let me know in the comments. If you think a retrial is needed, then tweet with the hashtag #BoogerRetrial at Eddie Burback and at Gus Buggets. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to see similar content and share with your friends who saw the trial. Thanks for watching and see you next time.